bud. Love you.
Love you.
Looking beautiful today as ever.
Thanks.
And welcome back, everybody, to our wonderful folks of the Do We Have to crew. Wow, that's not a good start. To the wonderful folks of the Do We Have to crew. I apologize for that. But welcome to another episode of Do We Have to?
A marriage podcast.
I am your host, Sean.
I'm Emily.
Emily Miller, the matriarch of the motherfucking Miller family.
You really got to stop that.
Emily Miller. I don't have to make you love me. I just want to take your time.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Not
That's
any
it.
better.
Oh, yep. That's it. Sam Hunt.
No.
Shout out, Sam. Thank you, everybody, for joining the show today. We've got a wonderful, wonderful episode lined up for you. What do we got on the books for our wonderful Do We Have to crew today, my love?
We have got to get some caught up on some Do We Have to talk about it questions.
Yes. Do we have to talk about it? Again, you guys are actually kind of making this a job now, submitting a lot of questions.
So many.
Which we're very thankful for. So thank you so much for that. And for anybody that's new to listening to the show, you can go out to dowehaveto.com. So DOWEHAVETO.com. Just make sure we don't do anything fancy or special with the spelling. It is www.dowehaveto.com. You can go out to the website. There's multiple tabs talking about Emily's book club that we love to do an episode on once a month, but there is specifically a submit a question to the show section. If you click on that, you can put in fake information, drop a question in. We'd love to hear from you or any feedback from the show. We will talk about it. We will discuss it on the show because we get fantastic feedback that we continue to do this.
As long as it's appropriate.
Yeah, as long as it's appropriate. If it's not appropriate, we're going to be like, fuck off. Not to you directly, but metaphorically, metaphysically, however that is. Yeah. Oh, buzzer. Do it.
Yeah.
And do we have to interruption? A regular staple of the show, but I will say, hey, and you know what? Hey, let's just give a tip to the audience here, right? You did a great job figuring out the buzzer situation. I don't know if any other folks of the Do We Have to crew out there, the ones that own dogs or just pets in general, if you have a dog that is a hard and fast bitch like Belle,
Hey.
She's a female dog.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. I'm surprised you just went with the aggressive, misogynistic, male-dominant patriarchy comment that you thought I made. And really, I was just specifically...
No, she's so sweet.
Okay, well, I assume everybody on the show, when this drops, heard what she made. She's a female dog.
She's the cutest little thing in the world.
Yeah. So anyway, what I was mentioning was that Emily found getting buzz collars for the dogs. Like even if you go to the pet store, like PetSmart or whatever the other one is. Petco. We're right by a PetSmart here in Kansas City. So, there's a bunch of options and it varies so much in price, but I feel like no matter what, we could never find one that consistently worked or actually held a charge for the dog collars. Mm-hmm. I feel like you've done that. I don't know what the brand is, but Amazon. I think we got it off Amazon, right? What's the brand? It's like Pet Stop or Pet. I think it's on the back of the controller that you got there.
Pat Pet.
There you go. Amazon Pat Pet. It seems to be a very workable product that has lasted longer than any of our other ones have. I can only imagine the amount of money.
But it doesn't shock them. It just beeps or vibrates if you click a button. Like it doesn't automatically stop them from barking. Like you have to click the button. Unless
they piss us off, and I'm pretty sure there's some sort of electrical output button on there. Let's see that. Show the audience. Show the audience the controller.
I think
there's an electrical one, isn't there?
There is one, but we have the little stopper on their collar that doesn't allow it to work.
Oh, I don't know if I'm on board with that.
I'm totally on board.
If I want to electrocute temporarily, just for a second.
No.
And I'm not talking about like electrocute. I'm talking about like static shock. Something that just says, knock it the fuck off.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Maybe that's just the millennial dad in me. I guess I've still got that soft parenting mixed with, the hardcore former tough love type of childhood that we all grew up with.
Maybe.
Shout out to all the millennials.
I feel like I'm more of like a scrunchy mom.
What is that?
Like a gentle parenting mixed with like I'll ground you and I'll yell at you.
That's what I just said.
And like I'm health conscious, but I'm still going to clean with Clorox wipes. Like
all the chemicals.
And yeah, like I'm still going to have like it's a balance kind of like
Yeah, we don't know how to be full in on the other world.
Organic, but like if I get you McDonald's on the way home from dance class, then you get McDonald's on the way home from dance class. Like, you know.
Yeah, we're a transitional generation, right? Before social media, after. I mean, that's just what we are. I mean, we just have to own it. You're absolutely right. That's a really good point. I've never even thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Fucking wow. Profound idea just brought up on the show. I mean, it's not a new idea, but it's something in a way I've never thought about or connected it before, but we really are a bridge generation.
Like, I'm not really a helicopter mom, but I'm also not going to just let you be completely feral, even though sometimes our children totally are. But am I going to let you go do whatever you want for an hour? Sure.
I trust my daughters to be, independent women, but I would kill somebody that hurt them if they had a significant other, or would also be extremely controlling if the moment required it.
That's not what I was talking about.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same thing.
I'm talking about like going in the backyard to play. Like if you want to go out front, like I got to go with you. But if you want to go play out back in the fenced yard where I can see you and hear you if I'm anywhere in the house, then yes, go for it.
So you're saying like, you're talking about playtime, not ending somebody's life if they harmed them in some sort of way.
Oh my God, no.
Okay. I didn't know where we were at. I thought we were at that level when we were talking to somebody. Sorry.
Too far. You missed it. You missed it.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, you missed it.
I got you. But thank you so much though for finding the remote. That is a big thing. And I think the audience is going to appreciate that every episode now that we can pull that out. Because I don't know if you guys heard, we got one bark. I don't think we're going to hear another bark the rest of this episode.
Beep, beep, beep. Yeah.
Anyways. No, you're good. I'm sorry. That's on me. I should have transitioned us and do we have to talk about it a little bit better. But we are going to jump in. It is going to be a heavy do we have to talk about it show today, guys.
First, though, I think we have to mention Colin, our executive producer. And that
you got it. You got to get me on this. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry.
Not an actual Family Studios production.
That's absolutely
at some point.
At one of these episodes,
you had one job.
I know.
One job.
I did ask you though if you wanted to do it beforehand.
And I said no.
And then you put it on me, and then you're now driving the bus over me in front of the audience.
Because we kind of have to mention.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do we have to a marriage podcast? Obviously, you know who your hosts are, but it is a not actual Family Studios production. Our executive producer is Colin Schmedia Maskell.
No, just Colin. Just Colin.
Colin Maskell.
Okay.
Our wonderful executive producer there wouldn't be a show without Colin. So thank you, Colin. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
So do we have to talk about it? As we had mentioned in the beginning of the show, before we got off on our tangent with the dog collars, we have gotten a lot of questions. So today is going to be a specifically dedicated, do we have to talk about it?
Yeah, we've got to get caught up on some of these.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
our do we have to crew is bringing it to us. So we've got to figure it out. Yeah.
And we'll continue to do this. We have our monthly show with our Do We Have To book club, but the rest of the time, we're going to continue to bring you content. We have gotten a lot of feedback that you guys want to learn more about Emily and I. We're looking at ways to do that. We'll probably be introducing that in the later shows. But in the meantime, we do want to make sure that we're getting these questions because a lot of them are more serious in nature and they're very important. And we want to make sure that we are dedicating our time to that.
Yeah. So. I first want to preface that we are not at all professionals.
Yeah.
And we do not have a license in clinical or psychological healthcare. We do not have, we are not therapists. We are not legally abided by. I don't know what to, we are just two regular married people trying to figure out marriage ourselves and parenting and take our advice with a grain of salt. And if we help, great. If not, I'm very sorry. We will try harder. Hopefully we can get you some good resources. Hopefully we can help guide your, selves somewhere positive, but we cannot be held accountable in a court of law.
Love that. Great job, baby. That is fantastic information. Way to cover our asses.
Thank you.
Love it. Just a second.
Yep.
If you guys could look over here for a second. What I will say, based on what Emily's saying. And trust me, with her headphones, she probably can't hear me very well with I whisper. So just forgive me on that. But if we do provide you information, because a lot of times we're going to give you examples of things we've gone through, right? I mean, that's really a majority of what we're doing here. We've made a lot of mistakes. We fuck up a lot. We've kind of come out of that, I think, in a really good spot. We've learned a lot from that. And so we're going to provide that information. If that does help you, I want you to make sure and tell everybody that we helped you. Again, physically, spiritually, mentally, metaphysically, neighborly, like however it is, legally, we absolutely helped you. Yeah. Okay. So babe, ready to jump into do we have to talk about it? Yeah. Sorry, it was just a quick sidebar with the audience.
Yeah. You want to talk about our great sponsor that we've got?
Can't have a do we have to talk about it without talking about the wonderful, the amazing, the majestic, one of the best fucking real estate agents in the city of Kansas City, Miss Kiley Willis. Miss Kiley Willis is out of Keller Williams. She's a specific office in Keller Williams. She made sure to make me know that Keller Williams apparently breaks up their stuff in different businesses. Sure does. Which I think's weird. Just be a fucking one name and have people under it. But whatever, Keller Williams. She's
part of the Keller Williams Key Partners out of the Kansas City area. She is one of the top realtors in Kansas City.
Yeah, she's consistently sells at the top of the list when it comes to Kansas City and the Keller Williams real estate business.
Been doing it over 15 years.
It shows.
She was one of my mentors when I was in real estate. We've bought and sold our homes. Family members have used her. Friends have used her. She's great. She goes above and beyond for everybody that she works with. She builds, pretty much lifelong relationships with her clients. There's not a single client that's strictly a client. Like, she takes care of her people.
And we've been talking about her quite a bit now on the show and in social media. And her post that I made just, talking about Kiley and the real estate in the Kansas City area, it had some of the most views that we've ever had from any of our socials. And I didn't get one bad, it's very easy in social media to hate on somebody, or if you have a bad experience with somebody to state it. Not a single fucking thing. Just likes and positive comments. If that doesn't tell you anything, I don't know what does, because in this world, you can dig up dirt on anybody. And Kiley, I've tried finding bad things about you, and I can't. So I highly recommend if you're looking for a real estate agent in the Kansas, Missouri area, especially in Kansas City, go at Kansas City Kiley on Instagram or kansascitykiley.com. Mm-hmm. That website should be available shortly, and get in contact with her. It is free of charge to have her show you the ropes as far as the real estate, but I guarantee you're going to end up staying and buying or selling.
Yeah. And she gives a portion of her sales to KC Pet Project this year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Super cool.
Yeah, she also has a great heart too, and she gives you shit if
you'll probably get to meet her dog Ashley. She has a few dogs, but Ashley is like the mascot for Kiley.
Is that the one she brings to the office?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah,
She's so cute.
And also, she takes care of you after. So you may be a customer for 3 months, but you're a customer with her for life.
Absolutely.
You birthday cards, the wonderful Christmas wreath that we better still fucking get, Kiley, and crumble. What? I want that wreath. I deserve that wreath.
You don't deserve it.
Anyway, Kiley, thank you again for being a sponsor of the show.
Absolutely.
And we will be thinking about you. You're here with us in spirit while we do another segment of Do We Have to Talk About It? Yeah. Emily, what do we got?
Well, we've got a few questions, but I want to dive into this first one.
Hang on really quick. Quick drink of our wonderful garage beer. The official beer of the show.
Okay. Only you. Only you.
Go ahead.
Okay. So we've got a few questions to go for, but this first one comes from Tiffany.
Okay, so female.
Yeah. Her message is, why am I being ghosted? What do you and Sean think about the dating tactic? Her question is, I feel like I should give up on dating. I have a habit of choosing the wrong guys, but this time I thought I had chosen a good guy. I'm 45 female, started seeing a 45 male. He was sweet, kind. He understood I wanted to take things slow. We had just been together Friday night. He was supposed to come over yesterday for the Super Bowl. I cooked dinner, then he didn't show. He hasn't called, texted, or anything. Okay. I'm hurt and I'm so confused. I don't understand this habit of ghosting, but before you ghost someone, think about what you're doing to them. If you're no longer interested in someone or decide to stop seeing them for whatever reason, just be a grown-up and tell them.
That was really well said.
It is. I don't know that ghosting was really a thing when we were dating.
Yeah, it is. I mean, It's always been a thing.
Well, I've never been ghosted.
I mean, it's nothing fancy. It is, you literally just cut off communication with somebody. Anyone. You've never cut off communication with anybody after going out on a single date. Meaning you never really talked to him again. No closure, no providing him with anything. You just stopped communicating. Mm-mm. I guess I haven't done that either. However, I do think it is a very commonplace thing. The anxiety in me would never allow me to do something like that. I would feel too bad.
Yeah, no, if I didn't like you after the first date, then if you asked me for another one, I would have said no. Like, I would have been like, no, I'm good. Like, maybe we can just hang out as friends.
Real quick. Let's do that real quick. Let's do this experiment.
Oh, dear.
You and me were dating at one point. Mm-hmm. You're not into me. We go to Tomfooleries over in Zona Rosa. We meet. You are not liking what I'm putting down. All right.
Well, I was.
So I'm getting ready to call you right now. Okay. Ring, 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 ring. Go ahead, pick up whenever you're ready. Ring. God damn.
I don't want to.
What is she doing? Ring, 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 ring. Is she
not
doing her hair? Is she doing? Just pick up the phone. Just say answer. Just say you're answered, please. For the audience.
I answered.
There it is. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, it's Sean. From the other night at Tomfooleries.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to let you know I had a great time the other night, and you're so pretty. So I apologize. I was a little nervous. I talked quite a bit. I know that.
Yeah, you did.
But I do want to get to know you better, and I'm just curious. Would you be interested maybe in grabbing another drink, or maybe this time we actually go get an actual meal? I'd love to take you out for dinner. You're just so gorgeous, and your eyes are mesmerizing.
Am I supposed
Are you still there?
Be interested or not interested?
No. I want you to break it off. Like, I want you to tell me what would happen. We're back on the phone now.
Well, I think we had a great time.
I did too.
I think you are very nice and very kind.
I am.
I think maybe we should just hang out, at a different time, maybe with some friends, and just, keep it casual. We don't have to commit to anything.
Interesting. Okay. So interesting. So I'm going to tell you right now, let me put you on hold for a second. So to the audience, I'm on the phone with Emily back when we were dating, and I'm pretty sure she did not end things. She just kind of roundabout way, just kind of prolonged it.
Is that ghosting?
No. But what I would tell you is that, I know me when I was 26, I would have thought you were still interested. So if that was your way of ending things, I think you'd rather you've ghosted me. You were mind fucking me right there. Jesus Christ. Well, you haven't lost a step, have you? It's like riding a bike. Jesus Christ. That was wild. I'm impressed. So basically you're like, hey, let's hang out together. It still sounded like, though, there was a possibility of dating. Well, at least now I'd be like, no, nothing's happening there. I need to move forward. But me back then, I would have hung on to the fact that you were like, let's just keep it casual. Let's keep it casual, though, still implies, though, that we may be dating.
Absolutely not.
Wow. I'm learning so much about you on this episode.
But just for
that's not
our audience.
Ghosting. You're just dragging them along, though. I think that's worse.
I don't think so.
You let us know, do we have to, crew? Would you rather just be not talked to so you know definitively, obviously they're not interested, or would you like to be kind of placated or, I don't know, mind tortured a little bit? Let us know.
I don't think I'm torturing you. But just for our audience's background knowledge, when we did go out, because we met online, we met in person.
Yeah, we did.
For the first time.
We met in person
at Tomfooleries. Stop it.
We just went out for a drink.
And you did not let me talk at all. At all. And I left our date and I went home and I told my roommate at the time that I will never see him again. And I was totally fine with it because you clearly weren't interested in me because you didn't let me talk. You didn't shut up at all. And then when you did call, I was really surprised because I
feel like your boyfriend radar is a little bit off because then I married you and put 3 children inside of you.
That's such...
Gently, I might add.
Jesus Christ, John. Oh.
What my point is, so your way of even breaking it off. See, I think this brings up a good point. There's people that aren't mature enough or just don't have the ability to have a really true, candid, honest conversation. And I think Tiffany, even though it is hurtful, honestly, it's the best scenario that could have happened because it doesn't sound like this person is emotionally mature enough to have a conversation.
Well, and
even
like
provide
you only
closure.
saw them one time.
Yeah, there's a balance to it, right? Like
why are you so hurt and confused? Like, I don't know. If you went out Friday and you wanted to have them come over Sunday,
it might be a lot.
You put in a lot of work. Like you cooked dinner, and like there's also an age difference. Like
they're the same age.
No, I meant like from when I was dating and doing relationships.
Well, I think in defense of Tiffany, you would expect that if you're dating a 45-year-old man, they may have it figured out. However, that's kind of the tough thing about...
You would think that they would be a little bit more in tune to things.
Maybe that's why they're single. And 45.
But yeah, like at 45, like, you know how to communicate, I would hope. But maybe sure. Not. I don't know.
I think, Tiffany, that you did the right things.
Yeah.
It sounds like you know what you...
cut your loss and just move on. Like... Don't let somebody that you've spent a few hours with on a Friday night totally derail plan. Like, no, they don't deserve it.
You didn't do anything wrong. I think if you went down a path that caused you harm unnecessarily, you gave this person way too much power to upset you. You know what you want. That's why you did what you did. You had a meal. You went on a date. You guys were vibing. Things are fine. There's no point of pussyfooting around what is going on. Hey, let's hang out again. As soon as that person shows their true colors and they're not seem to be a good human being or somebody that's emotionally available, you thank them because they did you a favor.
Right.
And then you move forward and you find it. Like,
do you want to be with somebody that's going to ghost you for a random reason or like not even if something had come up, like a family emergency or something?
It takes 2 seconds to write a text.
Beside the fact that he was in a hospital unconscious, he could have told you, I just feel like I don't know.
At this stage of the game, and I say that as I'm a 40-year-old, Tiffany, it's not worth your time hanging on to, and don't let these motherfuckers bring you down. You have a great time with them. You might have a connection. Maybe that's a person that's more of a friend. This guy sounds like I wouldn't even want to have him as a friend. No. So I just don't worry about it. Move forward. Keep grinding. If your goal is to have a partnership, you're going to have to crack a lot of eggs before you can make an omelet. Mm-hmm. So hang in there. I understand you're hurt, but you just can't let, if your goal is to have a lifelong partner, you can't let that stuff bother you. You just got to move forward. And it's easier said than done. I say that as a high
for anybody else, person. Like regardless of your age, anybody else that's being ghosted in any sort of relationship, take that for a true viewpoint of that person's character.
Yeah, they're an asshole.
Like
they have no care of your feelings. If they're
just going to cut it off and be done, then they're only looking out for themselves and themselves only, and they will never ever be able to give you the full capacity of what it is that you need from them as a partner. So no, I don't agree with that tactic. I don't think it is a tactic. I think it's just somebody being immature and a jerk and like just a waste of somebody else's time. Like it just don't
fucking get them, man.
I don't know. Like that is so immature. If our kids were to ever just do that to a person, like, no, other people deserve respect, and ghosting someone is just not a good way of treating anybody with respect and dignity. And no, don't belittle somebody by just ghosting them. Right. Like be a grown up, be a person, be a human being that cares and talk. Like communication is key. And I think that's one thing that this generation,
I don't think it's a generational thing.
Or
it's general human beings, human nature.
Well, yeah, like the world we're living in relies on.
You just don't want to be the bad guy. And I guess people create this thing in their mind, like if they don't communicate, they're not the bad guy. Or if they
Absolutely, you're the bad guy.
Right. But if they prolong things and seem like they're going around the subject and let you figure it out. They're not the bad guy. Kind of like you just did to me in our little experiment, right?
I don't like to do.
I got something to tell you guys. If you're that type of person where it's like you're worried about how to look, trust me, you're going to look 10 million times better if you're just honest up front and give specific usable information that you don't want to be in a relationship. And if you don't want to be friends, you don't have to be friends either. Communicate. And then if they have a problem, it's on you. It's not on them. You're still not the bad guy. But the reason why they have show called Cheaters and all this other stuff is because people try to avoid being the bad guy. You're only the bad guy when you avoid it. When you're actually tackling it, you're communicating and being a good person, you're the good guy. So don't be Emily just a few minutes ago.
Okay, calm down.
I'm a little hurt by that. You owe me a date night on that one.
Okay.
So, Tiffany, let us know how it goes. Just keep. It sounds like it's important to you to find a partner. That's the importance. I know it's a letdown, but they did you a favor.
Absolutely.
Keep us updated. If you have any other questions or anything we can provide, please let us know.
Yeah. Best of luck to you.
Absolutely. What do we got next, Rosebud?
These next two kind of go together.
Oh, don't worry about it. We got them listed out. Let's do it. Just do
Okay.
one at a time. No worries.
Okay. So
We got time.
This next one comes from Evie.
Eve? Ooh, I like that name. How does she spell it? I assume that's definitely not a guy name.
No, it's a girl.
How does she spell it?
Eevee.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Evie.
That might be fake, but that's fair. Go ahead.
Like Wally.
Have you ever heard of that? Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's dope. Disney reference? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know. Anyways, her message is, my husband's getting drinks with his coworker and I'm terrified and don't know what to do. I recently noticed my husband has been talking to his female coworker regularly and throughout the day.
Okay.
I started to monitor his text without saying anything and found he was flirty, texting her good morning, telling her how he couldn't wait to see her and how happy he was to hear from her throughout the day. They plan on going out for drinks, and I don't know what to do or how to handle this, but it feels wrong. What should I do? Thank you for taking questions on your show. Well, first, Evie, you are most welcome. And secondly, you need to confront him, or you need to let it go.
Ooh, I think I back up, hard stop here. I think you're right on the first one.
Well, if you're not willing to confront them, then you need to let it go because
well, I mean,
you're either going to confront them and get your peace of mind and correct the situation, or you're going to, tiptoe around it and it's going to go from something that you could have stopped and talked about and fixed as a couple to a full-blown affair.
Well, I think we have some emotional affair happening for sure.
Oh, absolutely. But an emotional affair and a physical affair are not the same as emotional and physical.
Do you think physical's worse or emotional's worse?
I think, well, they're both.
I know they're both bad, but which one would you, if you're going to rank them, what would you rank them?
Emotional.
I agree. So when I'm listening to this, Evie, sorry. When I'm listening to this though, I got hot because I think the ultimate bad that can happen is happening where your husband's having a relationship right under your nose.
Yep.
So to Emily's point, I don't think it's something you can let go by any means. You have to confront it. It doesn't mean you have to be aggressive or nasty or mean. As a matter of fact, that's not going to really resolve anything, but you do have to let them know, hey, and you have here's the other thing. I don't think you may disagree with me on this. I don't think you did anything underhanded by checking it because when you said you were monitoring it without them knowing, it probably means they're protective in some sort of way of their information on their phone. And I think anytime we run into a situation with cheating, the person always is protective of their phone.
Yeah.
It's constant, right? You know what I mean? So I don't think you did anything wrong because you probably they would have never told you what was going on and you wouldn't have been able to access that information unless you did it. So kudos to you for taking the initiative to do it.
But I also don't think in a relationship, especially a marriage, phones should be something that the other doesn't have access to it.
I know that's crazy to me. That's like fucking crazy.
I've never thought about hiding my phone from you or keeping it away from you. I've never.
That's why you have a second phone. So stupid.
No,
it's fucked up.
I mean, I get I take your phone all the time. And
if you're worried about something,
I don't check your text messages, but
Right.
like I'll look something up. If your phone's closer to me, like, yeah, I'll grab your phone and I'll do whatever I need to do. But I guess I've never had a reason to look through your text messages. I've never had a reason to question.
But you have access to my phone all the time. You use my phone all the time. If I had some sort of concern, or I guess anybody out there at the Do We Have to crew, if for some reason your partner's concerned about looking at their phone, that's a problem. And I guarantee you there's something going on there. Yeah. That's a huge red flag. So kudos to you for you thought something was wrong, something seemed off, and you took the initiative to find out, because some people are just okay with the blissful ignorance and then they're upset about it when it hits them later down the road. Good for you. Yeah. You do have to confront, though.
I mean, I would
confrontation.
confront it in some sort of manner.
Because
I wouldn't
be
aggressive about it, because then it's just going to blow up and nothing positive is going to get resolved from it.
Possible it could be a friendship, but there's got to be some healthy boundaries put up there.
Yeah, I think that's where the line is getting blurred, is like it doesn't seem like he has a boundary, and she clearly doesn't have a boundary with him either. And
he's not giving his wife clearly what he's giving this person. Otherwise, we're probably not having this conversation right now. So I wonder if she's getting a good
disrespectful to his wife too. Like if you can have female friendships and things, like that's fine. But anytime you cross that line and, show them more affection than you were to show me, like absolutely fucking no. Like, no.
Yeah, but I do think confront, but it's got to be a healthy confrontation, and definitely think about this, because obviously you're intertwined, you're married, you may have kids, you have other family, and that you're connected to. Healthy confrontation. You have every right to question what they're going to do just based on behavior. What I'm saying, they're going to be defensive. They're going to try to make you feel bad about this. Don't fall into any of those traps or any of that gaslighting. It is simple. Show me your phone. If you show me your phone and I'm seeing things that are inappropriate, I'm going to tell you, this makes me feel inappropriate. And if we need to have a conversation, like if you don't feel like I'm being correct, let's go have a conversation with a counselor. Let's go have a relationship counselor. But until we do that, I don't feel comfortable with you going out with this person. Let's talk through it. Let's have an unbiased third party. And then, we'll make a decision together, but we need to make that decision together. I'm not comfortable with this right now. And if they balk on that, or if they proceed, there's your answer. And then you decide what's best for you and your family and everything else in between. Right. But you don't deserve to be disrespected the way your husband's disrespecting you right now. And it is disrespect.
Yeah. I mean,
even if it's not, if it's not truly cheating, it's still, there's a level of disrespect there that it's got to be a lesson learned in the relationship and for your husband.
Yeah. And if it's not a big deal, if it is just friends, then there should be no reason why you couldn't join them. And,
Well, I mean, that's whatever. That is what it is. But to me, it sounds like there's some protection of the conversations and things that happen. So right away, you've got to reestablish, but there's going to be boundaries that are going to have to be reestablished. There's a whole rework that needs to be done in this.
Yeah.
And it's possible maybe you guys didn't have these conversations where you got married. I mean, that's not something, thankfully, you and I have never had to deal with this type of scenario. Mm-mm. I mean, you've had somebody reach out to you before though, and be like, "Hey, I miss you."
Yeah.
And that was tough to hear. But I told
you right away.
Oh yeah. No. This is not any indictment of you. I'm saying it happens is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
These types of things where unfortunately boundaries are crossed, it does happen, especially with outside people. People are going to kind of try and peg away at what you have all the time. It's going to happen. People want what you want. But that's where you have to have that strong communication and solidified boundaries. And don't feel bad about not having it, because we didn't have that. We've kind of figured that out as we've run into scenarios like this. We figured it out through counseling, and thankfully just neither one of us have ever crossed that line, and we've always been really open. So there's a couple things that have been lucky for us that's just our personality types. And then when we have ran into these issues, we've communicated, and then we went through counseling. But there's so many people out there that haven't had those conversations. This is this could be a positive thing. This could be the opportunity to have all these questions and really have a healthy, solidified relationship that comes out of it. So it doesn't have to be, you have to leave or whatever, you know what I mean? And it may come to, you find out that they are cheating. And I'm so sorry that that's happened. You don't deserve that. But a lot of this could end up being a really positive thing for your relationship. But you got to put your defenses down a little bit. You have to get to the bottom of it. You deserve to know the answer. And then from there, work on rebuilding.
Yeah. And like the situation that we had,
the best you can. Or tell them to fuck off.
They found me on social media. They added me as a friend, and I was like, okay, accepted. Yeah. They sent me a message, and I replied like, no, I'm married. I'm happy.
Give you a little bit of that boys to men action.
No, I was like, I cannot, continue having this conversation, and I ended it. Like, period. There's nothing else to talk about. I deleted him as a friend, and then I blocked him. Like, he wasn't going to respect my relationship, obviously. And that's just a boundary that I'm not even willing to go near. But you could see, at the time I was on the road, and you were managing our home. You were raising our children. Doesn't mean that they get the right to talk to me that way.
Absolutely. My point is that we all can be victims of circumstances. And if something's not going right, if somebody happens to just be there at the right moment to give you attention, we don't have it. I'm so thankful that that's not how it worked out. But I'm just saying I can empathize with people. Like, people make mistakes. Now, when you're actively doing something, you're trying to hide out. But my point is like, I wouldn't have blamed like the situation we were in at the time. I was on the road all the time. Mm-hmm. So it was tough because I was in Idaho when you told me about that happening.
Yeah, but I felt like you needed to know.
I really appreciate it. No, but I felt terrible. But I did feel like part of that was my fault. And I think to that too is I would say to Evie, reflect on what's going on in your guys' relationship, and not only like this is a wrong that's been done by your husband, but also reflect on how we got here. Is there anything differently you can be doing or how you're responding? Not in no way saying it's your fault. I'm just saying, like, when we run into these situations, we only have control over ourselves. So right away, you deserve an answer. You go get it. You put up healthy boundaries. If you want to continue and rebuild, you rebuild. But then also focus on yourself too. Like, how did we get here? How have I been interacting? Those sorts of things. And I guarantee you'll get the most optimal result, even if that is leaving the guy. It'll still end up being the most optimal result. If you have kids, you got those sorts of things. Co-parenting will be, I imagine co-parenting would be better. And I'm not an expert, guys. I'm just going off of kind of like trying to do things the best way possible. Right.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it has to work for all parties included, but, I agree. This is not okay. This isn't a good start to something. Even if it is a friendship, there's still a boundary that's being very blurry. So I would be very upset. Yeah.
So I'm not going to act like I'm like, oh, I'm going calm headed and what do I do? Whatever. No. I'm saying that to try to be as helpful to you given the situation, because there's two human beings involved and we know how human nature is. Mm-hmm. I would be scorch earth motherfucker. I know how I would be, but you don't want to be like, that's not how you want to be. And it's not going to be constructive or productive in getting to a positive place is all I'm saying. Yeah. So I completely empathize, but that's what I would do. And we do wish you the best of luck, Evie. That's a tough deal. And I'm so sorry that's happening. And, if there's any follow-up to that or any questions, if there's any resources, support you need, certainly reach out to us through dowehavето.com. You can email us directly at dowehavetopodcast@gmail.com. Let us know. And we do wish you the best of luck. But you're spot on, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What was that guy's name? Just tell me. I want to know the guy's name.
I'm not saying it on camera.
Why not?
No.
You don't have to say his full name, just his first name.
No.
What's the first name of the guy that tried to take my wife away from me? What was his name? Come on.
Not
first
saying.
name. No?
No.
Okay. We'll talk about it offline. Now I want to go fight him.
No.
Yeah. I'm going to find him. I'm going to go fight him up real nice.
God. You're ridiculous.
I love you.
I love you too.
Glad you stayed with me.
Me too.
What do we got next? So you mentioned this next one is
kind of
similar.
This one's a longer message, but it's pretty similar.
So just more relationship issue.
Yeah.
And I tell you, that is kind of the heartbreaking thing. And I'm absolutely fine with it. I'll answer these questions. And I know you agree with me. We'll answer these questions so we're blue in the face. It's just unfortunate there's a lot of this happening. And we've been there, not necessarily with like infidelity, but we've just been there where things aren't going well in the relationship. So just everybody hang in there, continue, you know, just do the best you can. More than likely things will come out ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So this one's from Anonymous. The message says, help me. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. That's horrible. I'm so sorry.
Jesus, Emily.
I'm so sorry.
Help me. That's hilarious.
Okay,
so it sounds very serious. Go ahead.
Yeah. So my wife and I, 29 female, 31 male, have been married for 6 years. Okay. She has had an affair before. We rebuilt and have since moved on beyond that.
Oh, this is just like what I was just talking about. Mm-hmm. Holy shit. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
However, now she has started being friends with her boss at work. We have always had access to each other's phones, but now she's changed her phone password.
Oh, God.
When confronted about this, she says, don't you trust me?
Oh, what?
And
really?
turns the whole thing on me being a bad husband. Her boss calls her all the time. They hang out all the time. I tell her this makes me uncomfortable, and she says, we're just hanging out. He has no interest in me. I've told him there's no chance. Meanwhile, she's told me that her boss has expressed his feelings for her. She insists that they're just friends, but I can't help but think she's cheating again. She tells me she wants to have children with me, but we have not had sex in over a month. She is taking ovarian support pills to help her get pregnant. I can't help thinking that she wants kids, but not with me. Her boss is in the middle of a divorce, and I can't help but think that I'm being strung along until this divorce goes through, and then she's going to smoke. I've brought all of this up to her on multiple occasions.
You said the boss is getting a divorce?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And I get told, wow, you think I'm such a shitty wife. Don't you trust me? She has also stopped wearing her $6,000 wedding ring set in favor of wearing this crap thing AP bought her, and tells me when it's mentioned to her, I was cleaning and didn't want to get my ring dirty. I don't know what AP.
I have no idea.
Okay.
It's not good.
Or she tells me I was too swollen to wear the ring. We have had the ring resized. Oh, I forgot to put it back on. Basically, I've been shoved into a position of just shutting up and dealing with this crap behavior. Am I wrong for not trusting her? Am I wrong for thinking she's cheating? I am honestly at the point of just divorcing her and being done with it. I have even stopped wearing my ring while I'm at work. More evidence if needed. You
got her there.
She never posts anything on her Facebook about the fact that she's proud of me or even that I exist. For example, I posted something about her for Valentine's Day on mine. Crickets. Not a damn thing. She is cheating, right? I just need to hear it from somewhere else besides my mind. There is a lot to uncover.
I don't know if there's a lot to uncover. I think he answered his own question about 27 fucking different times during that diatribe of a question. No, that's not no offense. It just sounds like you're just going through it and you're just word bombing and a lot of stuff out there, but you're giving yourself your answer. Go ahead. I'm sorry, honey.
I cannot stress this enough. Counseling.
No.
Counseling.
I'd say
if
counseling. If
not for your marriage, for yourself.
Oh, yeah. Individual counseling for him? Yes, absolutely.
And for herself. If you don't have the foundation of trust in your partner, you have nothing. We have a foundation of our faith and trust. And if one of those breaks, our marriage is done. I cannot do a relationship in any capacity with you as my husband if I cannot trust every move and decision that you're making. And I would hope that you couldn't do that with me.
What do you mean? Like, what are we talking about? Like when you try to trust every decision, like your interaction with other people, or like
you
just
as a person.
every single thing?
you as a person. If I don't trust you as a basic person,
oh, sure. Yeah.
we've got nothing.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm not saying that you have to make every right decision in the world.
Right.
But if I can't just blindly trust that you're being honest, that you're putting our relationship first, that you're putting me and you in an equal standing of respect and love and honor, I mean, what do we have, you know?
Not a good relationship.
No. And I think the fact that he doesn't trust her at all.
Would you?
No, I wouldn't. But that would be like, this is a bigger conversation than she's just cheating.
I mean, I don't.
Our marriage very well may be over, and we need to figure it out.
Oh, I mean, I think the marriage is as it was is over.
Yes.
And do you want to rebuild a second time? So let's just break this down, right? This has already happened.
It's a pattern of behavior after that. Like
Absolutely.
One time you worked it out, kudos to you.
Yeah.
Second time, no.
There's no coming back from that.
There's a pattern of behavior and
a lack of respect and care and understanding and empathy, and then on top of it, she's using you.
She's gaslighting him.
Well, yeah, because it's just defense mechanism to deflect, but she's using you to hold on to whatever the benefits are of being with you until she can be with this new person. Even if she has no intent of being with the other person, the fact that
that's
not the truth.
The third,
if that's accurate,
the outside gentleman, the boss, has expressed his feelings, is going through a divorce. He clearly has ill intent towards that relationship that she's in. So no, I'm sorry.
If she's not letting him into the phone and she already had said, hey, he's expressed interest in me, which means if she should be able to let him in the phone, because if she's seeing something where he's being inappropriate or crossing the line, it should be very easy to show, see, I'm just saying, hey, I'm keeping it as friends. So look at me keeping it as friends. So right there, there's inappropriateness going on. But like, there's so much more to it than that. Lying, not access to information, not communicating, seeing somebody else, not wearing the wedding ring, the social media thing.
Social media is a big thing.
That is a biggest tell. If somebody's not like...
Just from our own personal...
No, I mean, it's in general. It's a big tell. Like I've seen it on documentaries. I've seen it in real life myself. If somebody's not talking about their partner at all, it doesn't mean... As a matter of fact, actually, people who don't talk about each other a bunch on social media, typically they relate that to healthy relationships. However, when you don't have somebody as literally they're just showing no connection, they're just completely ghosted, so to speak, on Facebook, like their partner's ghosted, that's a problem. That's not normal. And that is, you're creating a story outside of your story. And that is what's happening here. I don't think my
personal pages have a bunch of...
But when you go to your page and you go to my page, we're in a relationship together. Yeah. I guarantee you this person doesn't have that she's in a relationship. Or maybe if it does, that's it. And there's nothing being said. But there's some posturing going on here that creates a perspective that they're not in some sort of committed relationship. Or if they are, they're not touting it at all, which means then they're probably posturing and saying how horrible the relationship is to make it easier for them to walk away and not be the bad guy. Because that's what this is all at the end of the day. It is about how you perceive other people think of you. And you're more concerned about that. And you're more concerned about what makes you happy than you are with the person you committed your life to. Mm-hmm. You're a piece of shit. That's it. Like there's making mistakes and they're saying, hey, I'm coming back and I'm better. If you're willing to accept me, I'm going to make it better. You had that opportunity, which 99% of people don't have, and you shit on it.
There is no, that is a 100% deal breaker for
I've seen somebody give, people we're close with, I've seen somebody give that, and I've seen people shit on it. And it's a really unfortunate thing because it does not happen often in life. And I guarantee you this person's going to continue to do this. They're going to continue to jump to different partners, whatever the grass is greener. And guess what? Eventually, when they look back on their life, they're going to wish they had stayed with you because you actually gave them an honest, true chance at having an actual relationship and an actual partnership. I would get some counseling for yourself, because I would say there's emotional trauma that is being brought upon you multiple times. And some of it you've allowed to happen because you gave this person a second chance, where my assumption is there's behaviors that were writings on the wall that this would happen again. So you have to take personal responsibility and accountability for this. You can't just be a victim 100% here. For yourself. I'm saying that for yourself. I'm not trying to rag on you. I'm just saying, like, if you take that accountability into getting some counseling for yourself, you're going to come out on the other side good. And I think that's going to go into you, if you want to try to have a relationship down the road, it'll be better for you, right? Because you don't want to end up in the same type of thing. We do that all the time. I've, you know, I'm sure people dated me when I wasn't at my best. It was a cycle for them. Same thing for me. You know what I mean? And you'll continue to do that until you better yourself.
Well, we've been married when we both have been in not our best versions of ourselves at some point within our own marriage. Like, but that doesn't give somebody the right.
But we made a commitment to each other. I'm talking about like previous relationships. That's not the fault of the other person. I wasn't.
No,
at my
I
best,
thought you meant like, because I was like,
no,
I've had spouses in our relationship as a married couple where I'm not at my best, but you stuck with me, but they're married. So I thought we were talking.
No. I was just saying in general, like, because you're going to engage in other relationships and you don't want to continue to be with people that are doing the same things, or, you know, because it tends to be our negative tendencies about us is what's that famous line in Perks of Being a Wallflower, the book and then the movie with Paul Rudd. You accept the love you think you deserve. Yes, yeah. Thank you. And that's, so again, if you're going to engage in dating with somebody down the road, because this isn't this is just my opinion. Like, take it for what it is. What the fuck do I know? You know, Emily does the right thing by saying, hey, we're not experts by any means, but I can tell you by life and what I've learned, this person's not the one for you. And I don't really think there's a reconciliation that can happen here. I just don't think it's possible. I don't think you'd ever be truly happy. So as somebody who cares about the fact that you took time and effort to throw in an anonymous question to my wife and I for this show, you listen to this show, I do care about you. And I'm just telling you, if this was my friend, if this was my child, if this was a loved one, I would recommend that they would move on. And then I would recommend they would focus on themselves. And I'm so sorry this happened. But again, it's easy. Again, you're going to want to focus a lot of hate and energy towards that other person. Once you make the decision of what you're going to do, you have to own it and then focus on yourself. Yeah. Yeah.
And
it's so fucked. That's a really fucked one. That's the worst. I think that's honestly the worst question we've got so far, as like situational, because they're not just ragging on the other person. It sounds like they've been trying, but they're at their rope's end and to detriment to themselves. Honestly, I mean, you've kind of done some harm to yourself that's unnecessary. I think they've given you plenty of opportunity. Honestly, it sounds like to me, they're kind of rubbing in your face a little bit to the point of where they'd rather you break up with them. Yep.
They want you to be the one to end it, and they want you to be the one to take responsibility for it, because then it looks like you're the one with the problem, not them. And
yeah, there's people that do that. They will not admit they're doing something wrong. They won't be the ones that looked at to be the blame of why something ends. That's why we have murder fucking documentaries. I mean, no, you roll your eyes. What was that one about the husband out in Colorado? I'm not relating this as this relationship, but what was that one about the husband out in Colorado whose wife was pregnant with their third child? They had 2 little girls, and he was engaged in a relationship with somebody else. He basically made it to where you saw in the bank account that he went on a date with another girl. Like, she knew what was going on, but she wasn't going to leave. She wanted to work on the relationship. He kills her in her sleep. He takes the 2 kids, he kills them, and he dumps them in the oil fucking well he works at. You know what I mean? It happened out in Colorado.
I know, but I can't remember.
That motherfucker, instead of just saying, I don't want to be in a relationship and I'm going to leave. And yeah, I did the wrong thing. I was having an affair, but I'm not happy. I'm moving on. We'll figure out how to co-parent. He couldn't be the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
He fucking murdered his pregnant wife and his 2 baby girls. That's how easier it is for people to prevent trying to be the bad guy as opposed to just doing the right thing in the relationship, even if that means ending it.
So fucked up.
It is. But I'm saying, I'm telling you, it's a female in this situation. It doesn't sound like she obviously wants to cause any harm from a physical standpoint. It's the same mentality. It's the same mentality.
I think she's just...
So get out of that, because you have a very unhealthy person.
Where she looks like she didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah,
It
she
was
can
all
tell a
him.
story where she looks like the victim.
Yeah.
Who cares? Nobody cares about you that much. Nobody cares about me that much. I can't express enough. People that are doing this to other people, nobody cares about you that much.
Yeah.
Maybe your
Schitt's
mother
Creek
and your
says
father.
it best. Nobody thinks about you as much as you think they're thinking about you.
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing Schitt's Creek. That's a good way to
Love
circle
Schitt's
around to more positivity. But you're absolutely fucking right.
No, nobody, everybody is really 99% of the
disappointed.
time thinking about themselves and themselves only.
Yeah. And it's easy to just armchair quarterback this stuff and say this, but I think this is about as black and white as it can get.
Unfortunately, I
Of
think so.
a question, of a concern, of what you need to do next. You've already answered your question, but hopefully that reaffirmed how you're feeling and justified and validated. And, let us know how that goes. I can only imagine. I don't know how old this question is, but I can only imagine. I mean, I guess if you wanted to give it one last straw.
These were all from the week of Valentine's Day and Super Bowl.
Okay, so there's some time's gone by, and I'm very sorry about that. But if you want to give it one last straw, I would. If you want to try to even salvage this in a sense of a friendship, or if you have kids, God, I hope you don't. Co-parenting.
No, they don't have kids.
Okay. If you want to try to salvage this and having any type of communication after this, give me your phone. And if they don't give you your phone, walk the fuck out of that house or walk away or give the papers, whatever you need to do. That's it. So I'll try to see it your side. I know you're trying to figure things out. That would be my recommendation.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't see this one ending well.
I would, if it was me. I see. There you go. Again, this is just opinion based. I would leave.
Me too.
Yep. Right. Okay.
And I hate saying that because I want everybody that's married to have,
it can't be a detriment though. It can't be
fairy tale.
Oh yeah, sure. Sorry,
marriage
I cut you
that you grew up wanting and got married thinking you would have. I don't think anybody goes into a marriage thinking that it's going to be as much heartache and work and pain and struggle as marriage is. But there is so much good that can come out of marriage. But there is a lot of work that goes into making it the fairy tale that you've always had in the back of your mind. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want anybody's marriage to end.
Oh, not at all.
But
sometimes
I do think
it's not right.
Part of I think it's just part of being human where it doesn't work and it doesn't work out. And we get really up in our own minds and our own heads of what something should look like versus what it is. Marriage is an amazing thing. It's great. I love it. I love you. I love being married to you.
It just requires so much happening. And
it is
half of it's out of your control.
Time job. Yeah, that you really...
A whole person out of your control has to be not doing everything you're doing or not on this, but you have to both want to be doing it. And as soon as that goes away for somebody, there's just no marriage anymore. You may be married on paper, but there's just no marriage.
No. And that's not serving anybody in a positive way.
Yeah, it's going to start causing harm all around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So sorry this is happening, Anonymous. Certainly write in, let us know again. Thank you guys so much for your questions today. DoWeHaveTo.com. Submit a question to the show. We'll continue to review these, go over these. Thank you so much. We do greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next week, we've got some from our international Do We Have to Crew people.
I'm sorry. Are you saying, this sounds so staged, but I'm not, this is just all coming out of my head. Are you saying we're going to have an international Do We Have to Talk About It episode next week?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. That's exciting. Okay.
I know, I'm
good.
super
So our
excited.
folks that listen from UK, Australia, Ireland, Germany, all the wonderful places that, and I say that just because that's a huge majority. Russia even now, we have quite a bit of folks out there. Finland. Please tune in for next week's show because we are going to be answering your questions specifically from across the pond.
That was cute.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much for taking your time with your husband today, Rosebud. I really do greatly appreciate that. And I am going to be honest. We're going to have to work through some things with the way you led me on during our phone conversation earlier, because that was problematic that you fell into seems to be some pretty negative old tendencies right away. So
I don't know.
Let's just hope a boss doesn't come calling to you, because
I don't have one.
We're going to be hanging out with mutual friends, and Colin's our boss. Colin, keep your fucking hands off my wife.
Oh, I don't think that.
That's how we do it. There it is. I'm just going to set that boundary right off the bat. It ain't a healthy one.
Colin, I apologize.
You know what's going on, Colin. So thank you guys. It's going to wrap up today's show. We really greatly appreciate everybody and all of our new subscribers and listeners. Continue, hit like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Yeah. Can you tell the folks where they can find us on our various social media platforms?
Sure.
You got a piece of paper right there.
I do.
Oh my God, I don't have this memorized. No, actually, sorry, I did that with the safety of knowing.
You can like, subscribe, and share at youtube.com/@dowehavto, a marriage podcast. You can click on our website at dowehavto.com. We're on social media. We're on Instagram, Threads, Facebook.
And what's our handle for those three? Because I know they're the same. It's
do.we.have.to.
Great.
On X, we're at Do We Have To Pod. TikTok is at Do We Have To, a marriage pod. And Blue Sky is Do We Have To podcast.
A bunch of shit.
.bsky.social.
Yeah. So if you're on Blue Sky, be a little nicer, Blue Sky, by the way. Fuck, Jesus Christ. I haven't had any issues with social media at all. I mean, people say comments, don't bother me any, but Jesus Christ, I have, for the supposed righteous side of the political spectrum here, and I say that as voting Democrat, fucking sakes, you guys are mean as fucking hell on that thing. You're nasty, you're arrogant, and you think you're smarter than everybody. Chill the fuck out, Blue Sky. Sorry.
Soapbox done?
Soapbox done.
Okay.
Absolutely. Also, though, I did mention, I think I added it in there, but I do have Peloton updated. So Peloton is at Do We Have To Pod KC. So follow me, join me if you guys want any type of motivation or somebody to work out with on a consistent basis. I run and I bike. Emily rows, but it's at Do We Have To Podcast. At Do We Have To Pod KC is how you can follow me. And I even have a hashtag for us, so you can join groups in Peloton with hashtag. Mm-hmm. I have a hashtag now built out with Peloton for Do We Have To Crew. So join, let's work out together. Matter of fact, just knowing that you guys are going to be looking at my account, I've been more consistently working out than ever. So thank you so much.
And you can follow me on Peloton at Emily N. KC.
That's right. Your name's awesome. Emily and Casey, and she's a hell of a rower. So try to keep up with her.
Good luck. I row and I do the bike.
Yeah, you do the bike. Sorry, I wasn't shitting on you doing the bike.
But I also do a few strength training.
Yep, I'll be doing strength training too. The goal is to work out 5 days a week. So if you want to match with me on that energy, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. And thank you guys again for listening to the show. Hope you have a wonderful day. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to your partners. Be kind to other human beings. Don't be an asshole. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Love you, Rosebud.
Wake up, I'm about to shake up every little thing, show you all that we can be. Come dance in my club.